Welcome to Warblog. Today we're looking at the Ghazni-Paktika Highway, Afghanistan. This is a current sort of event. So the Taliban forces attempt to take control of the Ghazni-Paktika Highway. They already sort of have control of sort of some of this territory sort of down here. Afghan Security Forces, with the help of US airstrikes, carry out security operations following the attacks on checkpoints along the road. It's detailed in Reuters. But let me just get something else. The live map. Live map. Middle East. For some reason Afghanistan is in the Middle East for them. I thought it was more Asia. So there's their live map, and there's, well, they've got the thing there, but it says the Ghazni-Paktika road, and the Paktika is this region. I think it's sort of there. So what I've assumed is they've just plonked it there, but it's actually this road, and it's only this sort of section here. What have we got? Yeah, and so you can see this sort of hill line here. Well, you can't see it on here, but it's just sort of there. So this is kind of like that, I think. And so this is the Paktika road. So as you can see, they've got sort of marginal, and this might have changed actually, I think it has slightly, but they've got some sort of control. So this is all Taliban controlled. So they're sort of already part of the way there, so it's sort of contested both ways. So obviously the Taliban have some influence over this road, but the Afghan Security Forces are looking to clear that so that this road is open, presumably so they can get to Sada Band Airport and other places, obviously, down here. So anyway, that's what's happening. So I'm just going to jump in and play. I don't think there's much to it, but I've given it a nice big map just to sort of give the emphasis on manoeuvring. I mean, you know, there's, and I've put checkpoints sort of generously along the road for no reason at all. I'm not sure they have checkpoints sort of like that. Well, let's see what they can do. How far can they? Maybe I should have it so that the Taliban go first. 1 minute. Okay, so I've modified it. So we go into play now. We should find that the Taliban go first. And how far can they move across the desert? So that's 1.2. So they should be able to go another 4. Okay, so they can go 5. Huh. Well, you need to get into the hills there. You go quite fast along this road. One thing to bear in mind is that obviously they've got some units here it's not been given a name. I thought I'd given it a name. doesn't really matter because it's quite clearly supposed to be Ghazni. We'll give it a name. Okay, I've given it a name, but it's not going to be live on this version. But anyway, that's Ghazni. Now, the point I'm sort of making there is that we've got a bunch of troops in there, but the infantry is supposed to stay there. So this infantry and that infantry are supposed to stay there to stop the Taliban just walking in there. I mean, if they did actually leave any one infantry, they might stand a reasonable chance of taking Ghazni. So we don't want that. So you've got to leave 2 infantry in there, which leaves you 2 mechanised and 2 motorised. But the motorised aren't up to much, but they've got a reasonable defence. So it's not as though you've got tons of units in there to do anything with. But do have air support from the US. So, what to do? Well, I'm trying to protect the road, but I've probably got intelligence of these units being here, so probably best to keep them in pairs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's just reload that and have a look. So he's 3.75. So they're both moving at the same rate. So we move this one down the road and this one tentatively after these units here. So maybe I shouldn't have moved them so close. Because this is going to be a big one. It's going to be a 7 to 1, probably a DE, which will result. Oh no, 4 to 1. Ah. Alright, yeah, of course. I just thought I had super overwhelming odds. I mean, obviously it's maths. I mean, there's a 3 plus a 1 makes that a 4. But the attack is still quite reasonable. I sort of assumed that I had loads. I don't know why. So that's a 4 to 1. Not a very good dice roll, but better than nothing. But of course a DR on those units. Let's see how much more movement we've got. 0.25, 0.25, so not enough to move. So might as well bring our airstrike down on here, just to sort of drive that home. It's 1.9. I mean, they can recover if they don't move for 2 turns, but we can chase them up. So that's fairly well hit now. So Taliban turn now. They can probably get in there and do some damage. This is going to probably be a 4 to 1. 5 to 1. Ah, I know why. They're not towns, they're just checkpoints. I thought it was a village, so I thought it would be, depending on a sort of a 1.1 or something. 5 against 1.1 would have knocked it down, but no, that's going to be a straight 5 to 1. No more movement. And depression 2. Huh. So we've got a DE. Okay. Well, the police could move back, but they might be better off moving this way. They can't get there, but they can try and move into their next turn. You can hold. You can continue to chase this little guy here. Okay, so we're starting to knock these about a bit. 2.9. Let's see whether we can continue that pressure with the air power. 1.4. That's pushing him up to 4.3. And here, probably easily get down this road and to that checkpoint. So I think already the Taliban have made their mark, because we don't expect them to win, but they've basically sort of taken out some police units, and that's probably what the headline will will sort of cover. I mean, it says at least 31 militants were killed by Afghan Security Forces backed by US airstrikes in the Afghan central Ghazni province. As the Afghan army battled to protect a key highway, officials said on Saturday. So already we've lost 31 Taliban units there, possibly, and possibly maybe just a few over here, maybe 10, and maybe lose another 10 over here now. So we could almost be reaching the sort of conclusion of this activity, because it's not sort of, as the conflict over the roads is going to go on forever, but that was an exchange, so that wasn't too bad. So the Afghan forces have just probably lost a few other units themselves. Certainly injured, both sides. I guess there 5 defence in there, so that would be a 1-to-1 next turn. Okay, let's try this. Another DE. I was hoping, I think I might have enough movement to get there, and then now over here we're sort of tying up half of their offensive capability, which is pretty good, but possibly going to lose that unit. So I think the thing to do would be to get within 5 of that, or get within 4 of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we can get to there, that will force him to at least challenge me. Freeing up this side a little. So that's that. So he can either bring these down here and allow him free rein. Can't really split these forces up, because then they become vulnerable to the sort of the special abilities of the irregular units. So they are sort of tied up over there, but the thing to do would be to sort of dispatch them sooner rather than later, and maybe we can do something with the air power. 0.3. Okay, a DE. I think he's going to run away next turn. Again, we don't have the sort of off-board mechanism in place at the moment, but we can sort of role-play that. Here, well, it's just going to be a movement down the road. Okay. Well, he's now going to run away because they've taken enough of a beating. So that will free these units up. I think we're going to do an attack on this stack here, because they do have a depression in there that I'm not sure how much of an effect that will have. We'll either be a 1-to-1. I'm not sure how this is going to work, because they should be under 5. So this could be a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1, but it might be like a 1-to-4. I don't know. Let's just see how it works. Yeah, because their defense is 5, so I don't get my special ability. So I've only got a 1.9, and I've got an attack and retreat on a 1-to-3 odds. So I think we can assume then that the Taliban offensive is sort of over on this road. I mean, they can regroup and come back. Obviously, I could have just gone down here to this checkpoint, but I did sort of think that I might get the bonus on that. I'm just not thinking fully at the moment. I think it's sort of an interesting game. I don't want to sort of up it. I don't want to give the Taliban too many more units, you know, because I think it's sort of representative of the article. You know, I think that the Taliban are obviously in a position to, you know, destroy police units, which they've done. They compromised this one by almost taking it. I mean, they've got to destroy them. You know, they could have gone down here, so they can cause trouble, but they can't stand up to the full might of the local defensive forces of the Afghan Security Forces, combined with their US air support, which is, again, makes sense. I mean, we're not trying to sort of make it out to be a balanced game, and I don't think I want to really sort of push it much further than that. So in conclusion, you could sort of almost say, well, we understand that there's, say, some forces over here, so instead of sort of trying to divide the forces this way and this way, I should maybe have combined all the forces and started down here. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play it again with that variant. So let's do that again. Yeah, so you can see it says Ghazni now. Right, so the Taliban are going first. So instead of moving this up the road, I'm going to try and combine forces down here. Okay. Well, everything's going to come down the road, other than the infantry, because the infantry is there specifically to support. So we can get down to there. Just make sure we've got everything out. See, this isn't really much of a better strategy, because what we did before sort of occupied them and gave us at least a chance, because they're going to get right down this road pretty quickly, and probably worthwhile attacking this unit here. .85. Okay, Taliban. Four to 1, and the DR. So they've managed to push this unit back. 1, 2, 3, 4, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 a great opportunity to actually combine these units strength-wise now. And so Taliban have already basically achieved some degree of success in inflicting damage on the police checkpoint. How much more movement we've got there? Nothing. Okay, so how much further can we get down the road? 1, 2. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave one stack in here, because they are vulnerable to this unit here. So that's sort of in there. So much more movement is there. So we can't actually get there anywhere this turn. But we can continue to put pressure on this unit with the airstrikes. Well, again, we can leave that there almost to keep the pressure on that. He's going to need to defend that. Alternatively, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. If I can get there, I threaten both of these checkpoints. He's in good order. This unit, if he can get down here, let's see how far he can get. Is it going to be worth trying a direct attack? He's a bit fatigued, so I think what we're going to do is stack them up and hopefully get a 7 to 1. Okay. Okay, well, I think the Taliban, I think the Afghan Security Forces have got an important decision to make here, or at least an important consideration to make. If they want to protect this checkpoint, they're going to have to send something back. Now, they could split their forces, leaving them with a 3 here and a 2 there, or a variant of that. But that would mean that they would get a 1 to 1. So let's send, or the thing is, if we move down there to attack, if we attack from there and get a retreat, they might retreat there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's no guarantee that we'll be able to force them out of range, but that might be a better way of doing it. But the thing is, next turn they will then just outmaneuver the mechanised unit. My mouse is playing up a bit here, the battery's not brilliant. Let me just change the battery. Yeah, that's better. Or is it? I think I've just got a high load on my CPU. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do, look how slow that is that. Right, let me just look at the task manager. Still not doing very well. I'm moving my mouse around and it's just not moving. One minute. See if I can get it back down here. That seems to be a little better. I think it's some sort of process that it's got when it starts sort of updating itself behind the scenes. And most of the computer's okay, but the mouse seems to sort of slow down. The trackpad seems to work fine. It's just the mouse. It seems to be working okay now. Actually, we take out this. That sometimes does the yeah. Just taken out a USB drive, and I think that's noticeably different. I seem to remember these things and forget them. Anyway, so the Taliban have sort of gained their whatnots, their main objectives. I mean, they've done some damage, so they could run away. You know, at this stage, you sort of think, well, what would they do? But they're threatening that, which is quite nice. How far can they get down this road? I think they get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but that would mean no more movement. No, they should 1, 2, 3, so they can obviously get further than that, so they can get there and attack that unit, but that will not put them in a position to enter that security checkpost. Okay, we've got no more movement now. Use that air power down here perhaps. No, we should just concentrate on incrementing the damage on that unit. 4.5 and nothing. Okay, so this unit is in good order, and he could attack this hex here, which is now defending at 3, so that would be a 1-to-1. Well, that's what the Taliban do. They take risks, so let's stack these up first. This should be a 1-to-1. And then exchange, so some fierce fighting outside the security checkpoint. Here we're going to just sit there. So, we've now destroyed that checkpoint. I have a choice to attack these units or to come back and support these. Well, let's see what we can do with the air power first. Is it better to do this or this? Let's focus on this. Then we can take that odds down a little. 0.6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't get there to defend. And they're going to be 1.5, and we'd be attacking at 4, so that would be a 2-to-1 there, which is not terrible, but it's not brilliant. Here, we could actually attack back on a 2-to-1, but it might be a 1-to-1, or bring this back as well, because they're no longer threatening that, so we can bring him down. Can't move into there though, so he's now 2.6, and this will be a 2-to-1 or a 1-to-1. 2-to-1. Oh, a brilliant die roll. So we've pushed them out of this and out of there. So at that point, at that stage, it's now the Taliban turn. Again, what I'm going to do now is the Taliban are going to run away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we get there? 5. Yeah. So the reason I've done that is because I don't like to just push it until they, they rout, or I mean they've gone in there, they've taken some damage, but they've taken a security checkpoint out, and destroyed 2 or routed 2 police units. Obviously, the Afghans have got superior armed forces going up and down this road, but it is interesting that they are going up and down this road. I mean, go up and down, it is sort of, it's a game of manoeuvring. So presumably they can go away, regroup, and come back. So I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, we've done it twice with 2 sort of different outcomes. I'm not sure that the second one was any better than the first one, but it definitely employed a different tactic, and I think keeping them sort of separate like that, threatening 2 points at once, meant that the Afghan Security Forces had to sort of maintain units in this area and split their forces up to contend with these southernmost security checkposts, etc., etc. And just to reiterate, you can't use these. These are supposed to be left there. So and it's not really sort of advised that you would use the police for offensive actions. They could run away if they felt the need to, but they would just run away and then sort of hold somewhere else. But yeah, it's quite interesting, I think. If you feel that you can, make more out of that, I'm not sure that there are too many other permutations other than just being lucky. But if you feel that you want to have a blast of that, sign up and give it a whirl. Speak to you later. Cheerio.